When it comes to puppetry on a screen, you usually think of the Muppets, created by none other than the extremely talented Jim Henson. Despite the Muppet Show, the classic one, being made for adults, kids saw them and loved them. The special puppets gained so much love that they got their first movie in 1979, and in this year, 2024, the movie is 45 years old, making this the perfect time to review it and see if it still has that classic charm. Before I get out there to open the curtains, regardless of the kind of theater we're in, I must give you a major spoiler alert so that I don't start a connection commotion. Find your seat so the lovers, dreamers, and us are comfortable. Hey, I'm Owen the Fictionboy, and here's my review on the Muppet Movie. This is technically a movie within a movie, as the Muppets are arriving at a private screening to see a pastiche of how they all met, and Kermit brought his nephew, Robin, with him for the show. Now, the tale begins with Kermit in a Florida swamp singing Rainbow Connection on his banjo, and Bernie the Hollywood agent came by looking for directions, yet after the frog told the man to watch out for alligators, the latter suggested that the former should use his talent for a Hollywood career. Kermit thought about it, and believing in the idea of making millions of people happy, he decided to take a cross-country trip to Hollywood. He started by riding his bike, yet on the way, he noticed a Frog Legs restaurant, which made him terrified, and upon entering a cafe, he saw Fozzie the Bear, a stand-up comedian who not too many people like. Kermit invited Fozzie to join him on his trip to Hollywood, and despite agreeing, Doc Hopper showed the frog a commercial of the Frog Legs restaurant and offered to pay him to be the spokesfrog, but Kermit knew that sounded terrible, so he and Fozzie moved along with Hopper and shy sidekick Max chasing them. Hopper really wanted Kermit to accept the offer by having a billboard of Kermit promoting the restaurant, yet the frog's answer was still no. At an old church, the frog and bear met rock band Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, who painted Fozzie's card to make it unrecognizable, but when the duo went back on the road, Hopper noticed Kermit, yet Fozzie was able to lose them by pulling over to a colorful billboard. Continuing the trip, the duo collided with Gonzo and his chicken girlfriend, Camila, who were driving a chicken truck, and while Gonzo and Camila also had planned on going to Hollywood, Fozzie needed a new car. One car that was roughly $1,200 became roughly $12 thanks to Sweetums placing a decimal point in the middle of the tag's original number. So after the gang bought their new ride for cheap, Kermit asked Sweetums if he'd joined them, yet he ran away, only to come back with his stains after the group had already left, resulting in the brown beast chasing the gang. Kermit and company then went to a country fair with Miss Piggy having won a beauty pageant, and whereas the frog and pig fell in love with one another, Gonzo and Camila went to get balloons while Fozzie got him and Kermit ice cream. Setting some confusion about Miss Piggy joining Kermit for ice cream versus his Hollywood trip aside, the two agreed to go on a dinner date at a fancy restaurant later in the night. During the date, Miss Piggy went to answer the phone that was ringing for her, giving Hopper a chance to pig-nap her, and when the phone rang again, Hopper told Kermit that he's holding Miss Piggy hostage, so Kermit went to the location he was told to go to. To a lack of surprise, it was a trap, so Kermit got captured and Professor Craftsman planned on brainwashing the frog into being the Frog Legs marketer Hopper wanted him to be. However, a furious Miss Piggy knocked out the henchman and saved Kermit from being brainwashed, along with giving Craftsman a taste of his own medicine. Notwithstanding the fact the two animals survived the crazy night, Miss Piggy was offered a job on the phone, abandoning the frog for a bit. Back on the road to Hollywood, Ralph the dog joined the gang and Miss Piggy came back, yet their car breaking down led to the group being stuck in the desert for the night. With the animals losing faith in making it to the auditions in time, Kermit walks solo to reflect on himself, and after regaining his beliefs that they can achieve their dreams, Electric Mayhem came to the rescue with their bus since they'd read the screenplay earlier, hence how they decorated Fozzie's car beforehand. In the meantime, Hopper hired an assassin named Snake Walker to kill the frog with a reformed Max warning the gang. Knowing he can't spend his entire life fleeing from a bully, Kermit proposed a Western-style showdown at a nearby ghost town. There, the animals met Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and assistant Beaker, who had a wide array of experiments they were working on. Hopper arrived for the showdown, and Kermit tried reasoning with him, yet the evil doc was merciless, ordering his henchmen to kill the creatures, but a supersized animal emerged thanks to the Insta-Grow pills, and he scared the baddies away, with Max cheering before he left. At long last, the Muppets arrived at Hollywood, and despite the secretary refusing to let the animals audition at first, the animals wouldn't go until they get their shot, so they made her get allergic reactions from the animals, making her send them to the studio executive, Lou Lord. He signed the Muppets a standard rich and famous contract, so they could prepare for their first big show, but when Gonzo crashed into the prop rainbow, an explosion blew a hole in the studio roof. Nevertheless, a real rainbow came from the sky, shining on the Muppets, and they sing a reprise of Rainbow Connection's last verse, with other puppet characters and the Muppets watching the film joining them as the movie ends. Man, this motion picture was an absolute pleasure. The puppetry and acting skills were put to great use, the songs are amazing, the story was nice, the characters were charming, the jokes, especially the drinks literally on the house gag, an actual fork in the road, and the massive fourth wall break, were capital LOLs, and I admired the various cameos, so you can tell a lot of passion was made into making this flick. If only I could say the same for most films these days. I suppose the only thing I didn't like is the Muppets basically harassing the secretary into auditioning for Hollywood. I get they didn't want to travel a long way for nothing, though I believe they could have found a more peaceful solution. Still, the Muppet Movie is a captivating classic that is fun for the whole family as well as fans of the Muppets, and for people who want to get into the franchise, I strongly suggest starting here, so I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. Quite a shocker that not even half a century later that this movie holds up very well today. Jim Henson had a huge legacy, with this movie being significant proof of what he was capable of. May the Muppets continue making people happy for many more years to come. Still need more fiction? Then please give this video a like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications. Also comment below and follow me on Instagram for teasers and thumbnail previews of videos to come in the future. Thanks for watching, see you again soon, and good night-o!